morning, guys. It is about 1 o'clock, and I just took care of the dogs. I'm actually about to head to the barn, because it's 77 degrees outside, which is just, like, insane. It's so warm out there. So I'm actually going to head to the barn, early today. But I'm starting to feel like it is never a dull moment around here. And now I'm just, like, wanting a dull moment around here, I swear. So if you watched the beginning of yesterday's vlog, there was, like, cops patrolling the neighborhood, and I don't know why. But they were, like, going door to door and, like, talking to people. They never came to our house. But I just, like, put that out of my mind. I was like, whatever. I don't, they left, obviously. Whatever they thought was going on was not going on, and we're fine. And I just, like, forgot about it, really. Well, then last night, around 7:30, this truck pulls in front of our house and stops and turns his hazards on. And I'm just thinking that it's somebody who broke down or, they're lost. We live out in the middle of nowhere, literally, like, cow country. And so we don't get a whole lot of, like, the people that are neighbors and stuff, I know what their cars look like. I know what they look like. And we don't get a whole lot of, like, people stopping unless they're, like, visiting somebody. But this dude was on the road. So I just, like, I wasn't really paying much attention to it because I was just, like, he broke down, he lost, he's calling somebody. I don't really care. After about 30 minutes went by, this truck had not moved at all. And I was starting to get a little creeped out because he was just sitting in front of our house with his hazards on. And it was dark, and I just, like, was a little bit creeped out. So I just, like, locked the door, made sure the door was locked, make sure the windows were shut, because I had the windows open because it was such a nice day yesterday. And just, like, went back into the bedroom and just, like, was keeping an eye on him through the window, but trying not to make it look like I was keeping an eye on him, I didn't want him to just see me, because I was, like, trying not to be, assumptive that this guy was doing something weird. Well, after about 30 minutes of him sitting in his truck and not doing anything, just sitting there with his hazards on, and keep in mind, he's blocking the lane. Like, cars are having to slow down and go onto the wrong side of the road because he's blocking that lane of traffic. So, after about 30 minutes, he gets out of his car and starts walking around with a flashlight, looking through my neighbor's yard. And my neighbor never came out. I don't even know if my neighbor knew he was there. And then he's, like, shining his flashlight over at our house. And I'm like, okay, this is getting kind of creepy. So, I wait, and then, like, 45 minutes later, this dude has left his truck in the middle of the road with his hazards on in front of my house while he's going through people's yards with a flashlight. And at this point, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna, like, call the non-emergency number for the police and, like, get this guy checked out, because I'm sure it's nothing, but I'm, like, seriously creeped out at this point. Because I also hear people yelling, and I don't know, and I still don't know if it was from him or from somebody else, but I heard people yelling, and I heard a lot of dogs barking. So, I went through, like, 4 different non-emergency numbers, and they were all like, we're sorry, these desks are not manned 24/7. Please call back at 8 a.m. or hang up and dial 911 if it's an emergency. And so then I'm stuck. I'm like, I really don't think this is an emergency, It's not like, in no way, shape, or form would I have ever thought I need to call 911 for this. And so I waited another 15 minutes. At this point, it had been an hour, and this dude was still sitting here. And so at that point, I was just like, well, I've tried the non-emergency lines. I kind of want an officer to check this out because I'm creeped out. Because at this point, it's like 8:30 at night, pitch black, dude's walking around with a flashlight, people are yelling. So, I called 911, and I felt really bad about it, and I still do feel kind of bad about it, because I don't think that was, like, a necessary 911 call. That did not feel like an emergency, but it's the only way I could get through to the police. So, called them, gave them the address, make the car, whatever, and told them what was going on, and they said a deputy, hung up, and, they asked me my phone number, too. That was really weird. I don't know why they did that. But then, cop came, like, 5 minutes later, picked up the guy's car, talked to the guy, and then left. Never came and talked to me, so I don't know what was going on. Which in hindsight, like, last night I was confused. In hindsight, I'm glad he didn't come talk to me, because then that would have made it obvious to the dude that I was the one that called, and I didn't really want him to know that. So the dude pulls off the road, like, into the neighbor's yard, but kind of, like, not in the neighbor's yard, if that makes sense. Like, just kind of, like, to get off the road. And hangs around for, like, another 30 minutes, and then just turns on the car and leaves. And I was watching him, and he never, like, fixed anything with his car. He never, like, I don't know what the heck he was doing, to be honest. But, so, yeah, that was my night last night. And, like I said, I didn't really think, like, I don't know, I didn't really think it was an emergency, but at the same time I was creeped out, and I wanted somebody to check it out. And, so that's how my night went down. So, it has been quite the interesting year. Before this year, I have never called 911 in my life. And now I've called them twice. Once in January when the fire, and then last night. So, I'm really hoping for a dull, boring day. And I'm going to head to the barn. Just got out here. I gotta say, even though it's nice and warm, man, I thought it was windy yesterday. I retract that statement. It's like I don't know, we have upgraded from a tornado to a hurricane, I guess. Honestly, I don't even know which one has higher winds. Does a tornado or a hurricane have higher winds? Anyway, so maybe it'll dry out some of this mud before it rains tonight, but just got out here and planning on spending most of the afternoon out here because why not? It's such a nice day and it's going to rain the next like 5 days. So I might groom them, I might do some work with them, I don't know yet. But yeah, it's definitely windy. It makes me wish I'd brought a scrunchie. My hair's like blowing everywhere. Oh well. Sometimes windy days are really nice for getting pictures though, because their manes blow everywhere and it looks really pretty. So maybe I'll snap some pictures. Storms later, because we have some interesting clouds formations. It's not supposed to rain till tonight though, but those are some pretty interesting clouds. So I have started grooming them. I just finished Fancy, and I think they want my attention. Just a guess. You're next. I'm making it simple. I'm just going by herd order. So Fancy, then Maxine, then Brownie, then Chip, then, you know, so on and so forth. Sorry, I'll get to you in a little bit. While I was grooming Fancy, though, Brownie and her were all up in my space, so say cheese, guys. Oh, goodness. It was just a kiss. You're okay. They're cute. Her, so what does she do? You're a turd, Maxine. Really? You just wanted to be brushed to death. Thanks. I groomed all the girls and Matt and Blaze, and now I'm just sitting and resting for a minute. I'm sweating. It's hot out here, which is sad when it's 77 and it's hot, but I like it. I'm not complaining. I re-groomed Maxine too, so you could kind of say 10 horses. Fancy, that was not nice. So I'm just gonna sit here for a minute. The clouds are definitely starting to come in more. It was sunny earlier, but it's still a nice day. Okay, so I just came back from the barn and now I'm gonna go for a run. I spent about 3 hours down there, and it started getting really dark, like it's gonna rain any second. So I figured I'd come home, but I don't want to waste the beautiful day and the beautiful weather, so I'm gonna go for a run. And if it starts raining, then I can run into the house. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. But we actually hit 80 degrees, which is insane for, what is it, the 20th, February 20th? That is just insane. So I am loving the weather. Guys, so I just got done running, and now I'm eating some very late lunch. It's like 4:30. The run was definitely a harder one. Actually, only went 0.19 of a mile, so not even a quarter mile. But I was doing the fartleks, which is a real word. And I just, like, I pushed it to the absolute max, and actually I had to take a puff of albuterol when I was done. Normally, I do have, I don't know how many of you guys know this, but I do have mild asthma along with my CF, which just makes things worse. And a lot of it can happen from like intense exercise. And for the most part, I never have to use it after exercise, but today was just one of those days where my lungs were like, nope, my chest got tight. My lungs were like, you need albuterol, girl. So I took just one puff and felt better and ended it there for the day. And now I'm gonna watch some YouTube and eat some lunch. Guys, I'm gonna go ahead and say goodnight. I'm about to get on my treatment and watch the Olympics. So I'm just gonna end the vlog here. Thankful for a, knock on wood, nice, easy, simple, uneventful night. And yeah, what are you meowing about? Come here. So, thank you guys so much for coming along on my day today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night.